Hey guys, welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be putting the fabric on, but before we do that, we've got some work to do to the doors. I have to make some brackets on the actual fuselage, and then we also have to weld up some completely new doors for this thing. Before it had straight doors that were two-piece and kind of an inconvenience to open and close. Now we're going to be switching to a really simple to use single-piece door with some air struts on it. So it opens just like the trunk of a car or something like that. They go straight up and out of your way. So put those on, make sure they fit, and then we can take it all apart and start covering this thing. All right, I've got the butt ribs on, I've got the cables all tucked out of the way, and then we were pretty much ready to cover this thing. Now I just have to get the gear off and put it up on the bench. Now we can go ahead and clean up these tubes, and then we can start covering this bottom side. I decided to go with the polyfiber system to cover this plane. It's a relatively simple process. It's just very time consuming. Doing this fuselage took just over a week to complete, and most of that time is just waiting for the paint to dry. You can usually do 2 coats a day, one in the morning and one in the evening. Aside from it taking a long time, it's a relatively simple process. There's 3 different stages once the fabric is glued down and shrunk. First step is sealing it, second step is applying a UV protectant, and then the third step is adding your color to that. The second and third step with the UV protectant and the color can kind of be merged together if you're using a UV protectant color, which I did go with. I actually wanted a silver plane anyways, so luckily the silver paint has some UV protectants in it, so you're able to save some time, money, and weight on that. Gluing the actual fabric down and shrinking it was definitely the easiest part of the whole process, and by far the most satisfying part of the entire airplane project for sure. Before spraying down any of the coats, you have to go over any high stress areas with the reinforcement tape, and that stuff is not sticky even though it's called tape. You have to kind of glue that down yourself with poly brush and put that down in any high stress area where the frame is touching or it could touch the fabric. Once that's down, then you're good to start spraying, but that's kind of another lengthy process as well. All right guys, this is the 3rd coat of poly brush. First coat was brushed on, and then the 2nd and 3rd were sprayed on. And it leaves kind of a plasticky, rubbery feeling on the fabric itself. Then after this, we have poly spray that needs to go on. That'll leave a silver finish, and then with that finish, it's sandable, so we can go over and sand out some of these imperfections too. Like I'm hoping a lot of these lines will be able to be sanded out. All right, this is the last coat of paint. It's all ready to get put back together. We can start taking the masking tape off and getting the wheels back under this thing. Just going around taking off all the masking tape. It's been pretty satisfying. After the whole week of covering this thing, we can finally start seeing what it looks like underneath all this masking tape. All right guys, well, that's all the plastic wrap taken off and all the masking tape. I think it turned out okay. I wouldn't give it a 10 out of 10, that's for sure. It was my first time covering, so I've got to keep that in mind. But, you know, overall, I am pretty happy with the results, especially for the type of plane this is. It's a bush plane, so it's going to be flying through some weeds and sticks, and it's going to be mostly in a field, so I can't complain. I still got lots of painting to do. I put a coat of poly spray on these to act as kind of a primer, and then we're going to put a top coat on that as well. This still needs to be painted as well. These just have 1 coat, so I want to get this out of here, and in order to do that we need some landing gear on it, so let's go ahead and put the landing gear on. All right, guys, there it is. Landing gear is back on. So now we can go put the tail wheel on and clean up the mess back here and push it out. All right, guys, here it is in the sunlight. Looks amazing. I'm super happy with how it turned out. A little worried once you pull it out, sometimes your paint job will show its defects, but this one looks pretty good. I'm pretty happy with it. As far as it being my first time ever using polyfiber to cover an airplane, I'll take it. Yeah, it turned out pretty good. And then the inside's black too, which is awesome. Well, charcoal anyways. So that's pretty cool. Better than the pink anyways. Yeah, looks awesome. Love the color. Really love the color. Now time to mount up this engine to the airframe for the last time, hopefully. There is some stuff I gotta do to this firewall to prepare it, like putting some sound dampening insulation on the back and some other little things. Also clean it up a little bit and mount it up for the last time. Make sure if you haven't subscribed already that you do that so that you can see the video that's coming out next, which will be running this thing up for the first time with the prop on it. Excited to show you guys that. And that's pretty much all I got for today's video. So thank you guys for watching and can't wait to see you guys on the next one.